Okay, so maybe you're exhausted, you're foggy, your body doesn't quite feel like yours anymore. And when you finally work up the courage to get it checked out, your doctor glances at your results and everything looks normal. So why do you still feel like something is wrong? If you've ever left a doctor's appointment feeling unseen, like the number said one thing, but your body's saying another, stay with me because normal on a lab report and normal for you are not always the same thing. Hi, I'm Dr. Lola Ashaye. I'm a board certified family medicine physician and founder of InTouch Primary Care in Sugar Land, Texas. And I specialize in women's primary preventative and menopause care. And I help women find real answers about what's happening in their bodies. So let's get into it. So let me tell you about a version of someone I see all the time. So if you picture a woman, let's call her Tanya. She's 47. She's smart. She's capable of holding a lot together. And a year ago, she could bounce out of bed. She could, drag herself up. And by 2 p.m., she's running on fumes. In meetings now, though, she loses her words mid-sentence. She walks into a room and forgets why. And here's the part that she almost didn't say out loud. When she looks in the mirror and at her own face, it looks different to her. She's softer around the jaw. She feels more tired around the eyes. Her skin is drier than it used to be, and her weight is quietly settling around her midsection, even though nothing about how she eats or moves has changed. And almost every night, she's wide awake about 3 a.m. So she finally goes in. They run the, annual basic panel. And a few days later, good news, everything is normal. Maybe try to lower your stress, try to get more sleep, try to eat healthier. But when she walks out of that appointment, she feels like she imagined the whole thing, like maybe this is all in her head. But here's what I want you to understand. And this is one of the first things I talk through in my practice when a woman tells me that her labs are fine, but she doesn't feel fine. The first thing to understand is normal means within the range for the general population, not optimal for you. So the ranges, they are wide on purpose. So you can sit at the very bottom edge of normal and still feel the effects because the range was never built around your body or your symptoms. So in perimenopause, for instance, hormones don't fall in a straight line. They fluctuate a lot. Estrogen and progesterone can change dramatically from week to week, even from day to day. So just a single snapshot on one morning can look perfectly normal and completely miss the pattern that's actually driving how you feel. The other thing to understand is symptoms overlap. So symptoms like fatigue, brain fog, broken sleep, mood shifts, changes in your weight and your skin, this does not come from just one tidy cause. They can involve your thyroid, your iron levels, your ferritin levels, your vitamin D, your blood sugar, your insulin, and hormone shifts in midlife all at once. So a short visit with just basic labs cannot often connect those dots. So that's where, here's the real deal, right? Sometimes the labs are genuinely reassuring, and the answer lies somewhere else entirely. It may be sleep related, stress related, it could be lack of recovery. But the point isn't that something is always hidden. The point is having enough time and enough of the full picture to actually tell the difference. And that's the piece a rushed visit can't give. So if you're watching this and you're nodding, if you've ever been told it's all in your head and you feel like, you're not getting your answers, I want you to take a moment, share this with one woman in your life who has been brushed off the same way. She may need to hear this today, and she may need to know that what she's feeling is real and worth looking into. And that's how we start changing this for each other. So you may be thinking, my doctor said I'm fine. Shouldn't I just trust that? Normal labs are a good thing. That's good news. And they're worth trusting as far as they go. They do rule out a lot of serious things, which is good, but no red flags on on a basic panel isn't the same as we've looked at the full picture together, because both things can be true at the same time. You may also be thinking, isn't this just normal part of aging? Don't I just have to live with it? Yes, some change in midlife is normal, but feeling unable to function, unable to think, sleep, or recognize yourself is not something you simply have to accept without a proper look. Common and just deal with it and not the same thing. Some people feel like, you know what, I don't want to be on medications. I don't want a bunch of hormones. I just want to be left alone. I want to keep things simple. Well, getting answers is not the same as getting prescriptions. When you get a full workup, it might point to something else like iron. I've seen it point to a sleep issue or thyroid or just daily habits. So it's important to at least understand what's happening. And then at the end of the workup, you can decide how you want to address it. You're in the driver's seat the whole way. Some people may feel like, I don't have time, I don't have time for appointments that go nowhere. And that's fair. And that's the exact frustration that a lot of people have, which is why I built the practice the way I did. When a visit is too short, 10, 15 minutes, there's not enough room to connect the dots. So I have made a different kind of room, and that's what I'm going to leave with you. Try to seek a doctor that has time to actually connect the dots, to look at your full history, run the right testing, sit with you long enough to explain what it all means. And that's the kind of care we have here at InTouch Primary Care. We're a direct care practice, which means unhurried visits, direct access to me between appointments, transparent wholesale pricing on labs. So you get a fuller picture and it doesn't cost a fortune. And now I'm licensed in several states. So for many women, we can do this through telemedicine, even if you're not in Texas. So if you've been feeling unseen, I'm glad to help you get, started getting real answers. You can book a free 15-minute consult at intouchprimarycare.com. The link is in the description. And as always, this video is for general education, not for medical advice for your specific situation. So if you feel like this has been helpful, think of this as an invitation to properly get things checked out. So imagine walking into an appointment, you're being listened to, you're not rushed, you're not dismissed, you're walking out with a plan that actually makes sense for your body. Imagine knowing the difference between this is just how it is now and this is something we can work on, instead of guessing and quietly wondering if it's all in your head. That kind of clarity actually exists. Sometimes it just takes someone with the time to help you find it. So I hope that helps. I'll see you at the next one.